My daughter cried and said, I was the small one. She felt invisible next to talented kids. But after reading one science-based article, everything changed. She became confident, and she even succeeded in the competition. Hi, I'm Elena. For the past 6 months, I've been doing real home projects with my kids. This is one of them. Today, I'll show you how one home project helped my kids build healthy habits. Not through pressure, but through understanding. The Kids Wellness Lab. This project started during summer camp. Gymnastics for my daughter, basketball for my son, 4 hours of training a day, 2 hours of commuting. My daughter was exhausted and frustrated, and I realized something painful. My encouragement wasn't working. So we started a project, not to win, but to finish the camp joyfully and build habits that last. The project had 4 parts: exercise, nutrition, recovery, and hydration. I didn't even plan hydration. ChatGPT suggested it. Ironically, hydration became the hardest habit of all. Each part included hands-on activities, learning, discussion, and real problem solving. 1. Exercise, from tears to insight. Before camp, we watched Olympic gymnasts and NBA players. I asked my kids, what skill matters most? They answered confidently, balance for gymnastics, speed for basketball, but reality was different. My daughter cried during training. She imagined beautiful routines, but spent her days repeating basic moves next to advanced students. Later, she wrote one sentence. I was the small one. I couldn't comfort her, so I asked ChatGPT for help. It generated a science-based article about how elite athletes manage energy. She learned that repetition builds muscle memory, that it literally programs the body. That was her aha moment. She also learned that athletes train with doctors and psychologists, not just coaches. She promised to try meditation the next time emotions felt overwhelming. That was my aha moment too. Science worked better than comfort words. 2. Nutrition, designing athlete plates. We started with a game. Whose plate is this? AI-generated plates appeared, some high in protein, some heavier on carbs. The kids guessed the athlete. Then they designed their own plates based on AI recommendations, for balance or for speed. They drew them. Then they built 3D plates with clay. That's when I noticed something missing. No green foods. So I explained the situation to ChatGPT, and it suggested a short video about the rainbow diet. Suddenly everything clicked. My kids memorized the color nutrition connections. They redesigned their plates. Then they made real ones, full of colorful, nutritious foods aligned with their athletic goals. My daughter tried avocado for the first time. By the end, the table didn't look like a kitchen. It looked like a real lab. 3. Recovery, a family ritual. ChatGPT suggested recovery ideas: mindfulness, body scans, walking, massage, meditation. Each night, we tried one together. At first, the kids weren't sure it worked, but over time, those moments became calm and focused. Slowly, it became a family ritual. 4. Hydration, the unexpected challenge. Hydration wasn't part of my original plan, but ChatGPT pointed it out, and everything changed. It created personalized water tracking templates for each child, with daily goals based on age, sport, and training time. Suddenly, hydration became serious business. The unit was 300 milliliters, so without realizing it, the kids were doing mental math all day. Then AI turned it into math word problems, with my kids as the characters. After 1 week, we analyzed the data. My daughter drew graphs. My son found the highs and lows. He pointed to one sharp drop and said, "We forgot to drink water because we were busy." That one sentence expanded the whole project. We compared fresh fruit versus dried fruit. The kids noticed dried fruit tasted sweeter, but fresh fruit felt better. I already knew science knowledge can change behavior, so I asked GPT to write an article about hydration. We talked about hydration science. My 6-year-old asked about water in the brain, and then he said, "If my sister gets upset, I'll give her water." Later, we made reminder bracelets with words like water and personal symbols. So the solution became physical and visible. 5. Reflection and data analysis. Daily reflection was GPT's idea too. At first, I hesitated. I didn't want to burden the kids, but GPT explained that short daily reflections could become data we could use to adjust strategy and improve outcomes. So my daughter began journaling her schedule, food intake, energy level, and mood, rated on a simple 1 to 5 scale. The night before her gymnastics competition, I uploaded 5 days of reflection logs into ChatGPT. And what did it do? It suggested a dinner and breakfast menu based entirely on her data. She was thrilled. Udon and grilled fish weren't even mentioned in her logs, but GPT had connected the dots. She thought for a moment and said, "Maybe it suggested this because I felt great after eating soba noodles or seafood soup." Then something even more surprising happened. GPT encouraged her emotionally. It noticed a phrase she had written earlier, "I was the small one," and included it in a heartfelt letter of encouragement. She felt seen. 6. From reflection to a math lab. That's when I realized her handwritten notes were more than reflections. They were data. After the competition, we turned everything into math. My son added the daily scores. My daughter calculated averages and drew bar and line graphs. To analyze trends, we layered line graphs over bar graphs. We spotted highs and lows. Patterns began to appear. They weren't just doing math. They were using numbers to understand real life. And that's when learning stopped being an exercise and became insight. One simple tip. Each day, take a few minutes to write a brief reflection and add quick self-ratings for your mood and energy. These numbers don't need to be scientific or perfectly accurate. What matters is consistency. Because the data comes from the same person, in the same context, over time, meaningful patterns begin to emerge naturally. At first, it may feel too simple to matter. But over days and weeks, this small habit quietly turns into a mirror. You may notice that your energy dips after certain types of work, or that your mood improves on days you move, write, or connect with others. You may discover rhythms you never consciously recognized, creative peaks, emotional cycles, recovery needs. After a few weeks, share your journal with AI. Unlike a single conversation or snapshot, this is longitudinal data, lived experience captured day by day. This project didn't aim to optimize performance, it aimed to build transferable skills. My children learned how to observe their bodies, collect data, analyze patterns, and make informed decisions. AI didn't give them answers. It helped them connect science, math, and daily behavior into a practical feedback loop. The result wasn't just better habits during camp, it was a framework they can reuse for learning, for health, and eventually, for life. If you're interested in evidence-based home projects like this, where AI supports real learning, not shortcuts, please subscribe. I'll be sharing more projects, data, and reflections from our home lab.